Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Anthony. Obviously, this is Heroic Conversations. If you'd just like to introduce yourself.
I'm Michael Antonakos. I play Alexios in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Batman in Gotham Knights, plus other things.
Of course, which obviously they'll be the topics of discussion today. We'll start off with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, with Alexios, which I think is one of the most confident Assassin's Creed protagonists that we've had, because he has this side to him that's so like cocky and charming. He's got that kind of roguelike, he's a mercenary, kind of thing. He has this rapport with people. But how was it like taking on a character from the Assassin's Creed franchise?
It was a little daunting at first because you know that there's a lot of people who've gone before with shoes to fill. I think Bayek was the one who just came out right before
Mm.
my character, so he was so manly and strong, and I was like, oh my God, his voice. And and then I went back and started looking at previous ones, and I really loved Rogers Ezio too.
Mm.
So it was, I mean, everyone did a great job. It was just those two really hit, especially Ezio because he was Italian. So since I was playing Greek, it was like there was a slight similarity.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, what can I do with this? And I didn't have much to go on when I started because I didn't even know really I was doing Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
And I'd been already a few rounds of auditions and callbacks and chemistry reads, and we were using sides from uh the what's that the zombie TV series everyone loves,
The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. So there
Yeah.
was a scene in The Walking Dead that was our audition scene we used.
That's
They had us auditioning with, and we had to switch for protagonist and antagonist, because we had to fill in for both roles. And so I didn't know what I was auditioning for. I only assumed based
Mhm.
off of like they said Greek accent, and they're like, and I there was this kind of image with a guy with a hood, and he looked ancient Greek warrior, and he had some spears, but it wasn't like he had the blades or
Yeah.
nothing to really give it away. They were just hiding his face because he just had this little bit of a hood, but it wasn't like the assassin's hood. So I was like, I'm just gonna assume this is Assassin's Creed because they're not telling us anything, and yeah, so I started. I was like, well, what would be fun? And it's kind of it's funny looking hindsight, but I was like, well, he's an assassin. He's in the dark,
Mhm.
if that's what he is, and he's always on the hunt to find something, whatever
Yeah.
that is, because they're always in the game. They're looking for whatever it is. So I was like, I kind of want to make a Greek Batman, like no joke.
I love
So
that.
I was like, I'm gonna put on like, okay, what would Batman sound like? I was putting on this sort of Batman. All right, good. And then I put on a Greek accent with it, and that's how it started. Like literally, it was like Greek accent with Batman, and just built from there. And and then I was like, okay, as it got going, I felt his anger and aggression continued, and I was watching, I think, the Punisher series at the time,
Mm.
and I loved his yell a lot and how he and I was like, oh man, I want to bring in some of that because there's just something about that that's really raw.
Yeah.
And I think Alexios, because of ancient, I was like, this is ancient Greece. This isn't, it's not even the 1600s. We're talking ancient Greece. This is
Yeah.
400 BC. We're talking rough ass, tough people, and Greeks. So they have their own personalities on top of that, and building him from there was like, okay. So when he got angry, I stole a bit of that John Barenthal and the 90s Wolverine,
Yeah.
um from the cartoon. I was like those kind of sounds. And that's kind of where I built the initial character's voice and
Yeah.
thing from was that. And I was like, I just brought that to the table. No one said anything, and I was going out for what I thought was just another chemistry read, but we were shooting our first scene. Melisante hadn't even been cast yet. Like there was no
Okay.
Cassandra yet. And we're shooting our first scene. It was a symposium scene with Socrates and all them and like the whole. So I walk in and like there's a room full of people. Like the place is packed at the mocap stage. The writers, the producers, everyone. I was like, oh my gosh. And there's actors all over, and I don't even know I have the role, And I'm like, okay, I'm assuming I have the role now. I'm like, okay. And we start shooting, and I pull out this voice, and I started doing it because it wasn't what I did for my audition.
Yeah.
I just did like my voice with more Greek accent, but then I just made it a bit deeper, and that was my Ezio steal. And so yeah, I brought that to the table, and I could just see after I started acting, all the writers are in the back, and they're like, "Oh, he reminds us of Ezio." Da, da, da. I was like, "Okay, well, that's a good sign, I hope." Uh, and and then about quarter way through the day of shooting was literally me standing in the middle of the room, going, "Okay, I just need to know, are we doing Assassin's Creed? Is this Assassin's Creed?" Like I'm doing the voice, I'm playing a character, I have no backstory, I have no comprehension of anything yet. And I'm like, are we doing this? Is it the product? Is this the game we're doing? And everyone freezes in the
Mm.
studio and they all just go like, he said it, moment. And they
Oh
all
no,
stop
he said the
in
line.
silence. Yeah, he said what he should never be said. And they all just stop and look at each other and like huddle
I
like
love that.
in the
Like,
side and like
should we tell him what he's doing?
yeah, right. But it's because I know there's all these other people there too, right? So
Yeah,
they stop and they look and then like huddle and chat and then they like look back like, yes. I was like, okay, thank you. So,
brilliant. Thank you for letting me know what I'm doing.
yeah. I thought when I'm like at this level of projects, like I don't think you get bigger than these games, right? Like God of War,
They're
Red
the
Dead,
triple
Assassins,
A
those are
games
all
out
like the
there.
big games
Yeah.
that year. It's like you don't get bigger than this. I was like, and I couldn't know less.
It's literally just like, okay, what game am I actually doing here?
It's like, oh my, yeah. So it's where games, I feel like, is slightly a disservice to themselves. I'm like, you could, I know people are out there in the world just want to know everything
Yeah.
about everything, so they'll steal the slightest info. But I was like, come on. So yeah, I my first scene this is it's the only game, and that was me just like I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And so I just did my homework. What are my lines? What's going on? And I just went with that. I was like, okay. And it worked out well. Um, and then I still was doing chemistry reads for like another month
That's
and a
mad.
half. Yeah. So it was a funny experience. But the swagger slowly
Mm.
grew out because Greeks are funny.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to keep that in. Melisante and I had big talks about that, of like the humor that we wanted to add in. Even I think Thor came out the funny one. What's the first funny one that came out? Uh,
Oh,
God,
oh,
Valhalla one.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think it's,
Yeah,
yeah, Valhalla would be, yeah. Yeah.
Valhalla, the first one. So that one had come out, and we were laughing. We're like, I feel like all the Assassin games are so serious, and there's like nothing wrong with that,
No, no,
but
no.
we're dealing with like this story is such a drama
Hmm.
already. If we don't break it up with humor, it's just gonna feel lagging and slow, and like it's gonna feel heavy, which
Yeah.
is it's already heavy. I was like, the whole story is heavy. I was like, if we play to that, it's gonna be another just heavy drama. I was like, well, let's bring in some humor to it. Let's
Yeah.
bring in some of that. And on top of that, he's a mercenary, but he grew up with this guy Marcos, right? So I was like, Marcos is like a swindler and the whole thing. So there's a bit of pirate, there's a bit of swashbuckler, there's a bit of he's had to learn to survive since he got kicked off the cliff, and he's bitter inside and he's
Yeah.
angry, but he covers it with this personality. It's like a shell of anger that he protects himself with and he doesn't let anyone in, but it's also he knows how to play rooms and how to play things a bit more, and he's a bit like that because he's had to survive, so he adapts a lot easier. And slowly through the game, if you notice, especially by the time you get to the end of uh Elysium, Hades one, the Atlantis series, you'll see like to me he's a completely different guy.
Yeah.
He's way more open. He's way more like paying attention to people and not so protective, because the first part's like a hurt child,
Yeah.
and then as he grows, he becomes less and less. He becomes more man, I
Yeah.
guess
He
is the way
kind
to
of
put it.
trusts people a
Yeah,
bit more easily and things. And I think, like you said, with that bit of humor in there as well, with this like heavy tone because, like you said, the first moment you kind of meet Alexios and Cassandra, it's a brutal scene. It's a very emotional scene,
Yeah,
and then
beats those guys up outside his
yeah,
house.
and then he just and then you see, okay, all right, he knows how to handle himself, and then he he goes to the vineyards. He's like, "You brought a vineyard? Like, why have you brought a vineyard?" And it's this, he's got like the kind of banter that you have with a long friend. But then you have these moments like early on in the game when obviously you kill your dad, which is like that's massive, and I didn't think it was going to happen, and then it's like,
Oh, if you choose
whoa.
that option.
I did, yeah. I did. I did. I was like, you know what? No, I like his helmet, and I feel like I'm gonna get the helmet if I kill him. And I was thinking about a lot about Spartans because what I love about the game, and this is a bit, I studied ancient history
Amazing.
at college.
Great.
So I studied ancient Greece. So
Yes.
when
Yeah.
it mentioned when it mentions like Thermopylae and things like this, I'm like, I know about this. Like I've read into all this stuff. So when you meet certain characters in the game, I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean this what? Because I love the
Great.
mythology, and I recently came back from Cyprus, and I actually went up Mount Olympus as high as I could go,
I've climbed it too. It's great.
which oh wow, the view
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
beautiful. I
I
I
almost died
love.
on the way down, but yeah. I went
It
down the
was
front side
yeah.
and it was still like ice sheets across the thing. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be fine, whatever. I had to make ice picks out of stones and
Oh
like
wow.
pick across the freaking thing. And I was with someone. He slid down the chutes and I jumped down after him. It was crazy.
Oh
Long
man, that
story.
that
But
that sounds like a proper event. That sounds like something out of Assassin's Creed.
it was literally like I still have scars on my knuckles, and that's probably 10, 12 years ago. And I still have scars on my
Man,
knuckles because my whole knuckles were bloody
well, yeah,
from picking into the ice thing. So but I had to. We couldn't go back up. It was getting too dark.
yeah,
And so we had to get across. When we got down though, one of the guys at the base camp there, halfway up,
yeah,
there's that
yeah, yeah. That,
little
that little like, there's that little place where you could go, isn't there? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you guys are lucky. We had to pick some body parts up last week." And I was like, I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I'll
And
have
the
a
guy
I'll have a
the
beer
guy I
for
was
you.
walking with, it was his birthday. He was from Germany. We met on the
No
hike
way.
together, and the guy almost died. I mean, we both almost died in the end, but yes.
But the view's great.
Great view. Great view. Did you go up and then like the clouds went
Yeah,
underneath
and
you?
you feel. Yeah, I mean, I understand like mythology wise, with Mount Olympus because you go above the clouds, and
Yeah.
in my head I'm thinking, right, back in like ancient Greek times, there wouldn't be like a nice road. It would have been like literally a mountain,
Yeah.
and that would have been a proper pilgrimage to get up there. So yeah, and it's this art. Honestly, with Greek mythology, I adore it. We went to the Sanctuary of Aphrodite and all this. We looked at all the because it was the Romans then redid it and made it Venus. I'm pretty sure it's Venus, the Roman
Okay.
version of Aphrodite, and it's
Yep. Yep.
I love seeing this because I was walking through it and like I'm with my family and things like this. People are like, I don't get it. It's just some rocks. I'm like, no, 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 but it's like really old rocks that were touched by really, really old people. Like, this is cool. And I think because I studied it, I was like flabbergasted, and there was like the tails were there and everything was there. I was like, this is really cool. And then people are like, yeah, but why you get so excited about the rock? I'm like, no, because look, this was a part of a pillar that would have been like hand done. And there's yeah,
Mhm.
I love the history behind it, and I think the game really delivers on that because obviously you then go into like Atlantis and things like this, and you have all these.
Yeah.
And I got the pack where you get the Zeus lightning bolt as the sword, and I think that's just such
Oh,
such a
fun.
cool. Yeah, it's like it's a Helix pack, and it was like if you get this, we'll give you the Zeus's lightning as a sword. I was like, yeah, that looks cool. I'll have that. But it's oh man, yeah. Sorry,
I love that
massive
that game's
digression.
become a big. No, no, no. I love the game's become such a not only that, but a piece of history for people because
Mm,
when I first played and I first got done my first recordings VO wise and stuff, and
yeah.
then they brought me to Quebec for the first time. And I think that's when we cast Santi. And they brought me in a room and said, "Hey, do you want to look at the game?" I was like, "Yeah." And they'd already put some of my voice stuff in.
Mm,
And then the characters running around, and I started running around through Athens and the
mm,
Acropolis in the area, and I just like I was teary
yeah.
because I being Spartan, growing up as a kid, I would go to Greece. My dad lives there. I'd visit him in summer. So all the places I'd seen,
Yeah.
and Delphi and all this stuff. So just to walk around when all I had as a kid were like looking at these stone pillars, looking at these rubble and books and drawings,
Yeah.
hand drawings, right? So now you kind of see what it really looked like for the first time, and running around it, and it's just a whole different
Yeah.
experience to see it that way. So yeah, I get it. It was such a beautiful thing. And one thing I give Ubisoft massive credit for is the attention to that detail they put into those games, in all the
Yeah.
games, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
The world building is something that always attracted me to the Assassin's Creed franchise. I think the way that they, like you said, they've recreated this ancient Greece, and you're like, whoa, like this looks amazing. And I love, like,
now
you
these are
walk
for schools.
yeah, yeah, like you walk through places, and it feels lived in. It feels alive. It feels like
Mhm.
you are. It kind of the immersion is so amazing because you just feel like you are walking through ancient Greece. And yeah, they use it in schools, and they go, yeah, look at this and things like that. And you're like, whoa, like a game can do that, and it's
Yeah.
it's breathtaking. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
And I
yeah,
think that brought some history alive that I think was of high value.
yeah.
Or it wasn't just a game, it was a piece of, even though it's a narrative is non-historical, you brought a really big piece of
Hmm.
history forward. At least got people interested in it again.
Yeah.
Which we need in modern days. It's like
100%. Yeah.
disappearing more and more and more, I feel, especially with modern, TikTok culture. And it's not to, bash on anyone, but who's looking back at the classics? Who's looking back at sitting down and reading Shakespeare? Who's sitting down and reading about the Battle of Thermopylae?
Thermopylae and
Like,
things like
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like who's doing that? So it's ways to sort of reignite the imagination. My daughter's
Yeah.
like 9, and I have her reading the Greek myths right now, and yeah, she's loving it. Yeah,
Greek myths are so brilliant. They're so messy. I think that's what makes
yeah.
them
She's
great.
like, these
They're
they're
just
they're
messy.
weird.
Yeah. They're just like, I think is it Hera, and where Zeus pretends to be a swan, and that one is just so strange and outlandish. But then, like, if you just give someone that one and go, here you go, this is Greek mythology, this, and they go, what? And then you go, but read this story as well about Zeus, and it'll be like, oh, okay, that's just Zeus doing what
Yeah.
Zeus does. He's just that's him. He's not a great person.
No, he's not a great. He's
He's a
not a great
terrible
person.
person.
It's like he's a kind of a, yeah. He's the version that we kind of look at sometimes because he has the strength of the
Yeah,
strong patriarch, which is really good, and he holds court and he has that, but he doesn't get much further than his father,
yeah,
except he becomes an incredible womanizer.
yeah. Which is
Um, like that's kind of the I'm like, okay, you defeated your father Kronos out of the fear he had, and then you had fear, and then ate your freaking daughter, and then she grew out of your head, or your wife, and then your daughter grew out of your head. I'm like, okay, and then on top of that, then you like womanize everything you see, and then you hate men, you hate humans, but at the same time you love them, and it's like you punish the guy who gives humans fire and thought and creativity, yet you go after all the women. It's like
he's
you're
just he's a mess.
he's a mess.
What I love is somebody once
But
said,
he also
imagine.
represents the human condition in
Yeah,
so many.
yeah, yeah. The complexity of life. But what I love is somebody once said that Greek mythology would make a great like soap opera, like a great sitcom. Imagine like a sitcom based around Greek mythology. It'd be brilliant.
That's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea.
You could literally just call it Odyssey.
I'll
Boom.
just call it Olympus.
Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Or just call it Zeus. People
The
will be like, oh,
days,
that is all over
the
them,
days, right?
Do it
I'm
like
like
do it
trying
a
to
bit
think of the
like
days of our lives. Like what would I call it? Like the days of Oedipus. I don't know.
in this episode, Zeus does something else.
Yeah, like my daughter read Oedipus, and I was like, oh my god,
Oh,
she's 9.
that's oh
I was like,
Oedipus
I
was
was like, I didn't
something.
know that was in the book.
Stop! Don't read that one. Don't read that one. I remember
I was like,
I did Antigone in drama, so I did drama and I did Antigone, and learning about like the context and things like this. Oedipus was something that kind of came about through that. And reading the Oedipus storyline, I was like, oh my gosh, like this, you think it's bad, and then somehow it then gets worse. Like, how is it just? It's like, okay, that's bad. That's
Yeah.
even worse. Oh God, no.
I'm like, I could see like Hamlet was pretty, we thought was bad, but then you're like, oh, the root story was way worse.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And you just sit there
Hamlet
like
didn't pluck out his own eyes.
and then walk around aimlessly, and then just
Yeah,
end
right.
up falling off a cliff. That's how he died. Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, Greeks, man, Greeks. We do have a morbid sense
I love
of
it. I love it because
drama.
it gives like authenticity to things because you know you live in this world and there's people in the game where they're walking around and they're speaking, and you've got people at these sanctuaries that are speaking, and you see the differences between each city. And I think it's really brilliant that they've done such a thing, like we said, like with the world building. They make it work so well. And you meet very early on in the game, you meet somebody who I think she believes she is a descendant of Odysseus, and she goes to the temple very early on. It's like one of those ones that you can stumble upon. And she goes, "Oh, is this it? Like, is this it?" And then you think to yourself, well, in modern times, if you went there, it would be even less.
Right.
And it's that kind of thought process of, you know, she was expecting this grand thing, and she's gone
Right.
there, and it's the kind of it's the myth, it's the stories that keep this character alive, which
Mm.
makes you want to think, right, big and powerful. I think it's brilliant. And obviously, the first place you go, you've got the massive Zeus statue that looks directly at you. And obviously, that's a viewpoint in the game, which I think is amazing as well. And I remember the first time climbing that, and I I accidentally climbed up the wrong part. I went, oh my gosh, no, I need to get off there. I'm sure you know what I'm on
Yeah.
about.
You were tickling Zeus, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. First playthrough it was like, hey, you know what? Zeus looks a bit sad. I'm gonna do what do
I
what he
bet
did
people
to everyone
just
else.
wanted to check and see if it was possible more than anything. Like, I
It's
wonder if
like,
you can climb on that.
did they make this a feature?
Yeah, right. They
Or is it
did.
going to make me fall off it? No, it's.
Yeah.
I think yeah, Odyssey is so good, and I love the fact that you brought kind of like Ezio-esque to it as well, because I think because Ezio was cheeky, he had the cheekiness and the bravado, and I think Alexios has that as well. And it like you said though, he starts off in the game as quite closed off, and he has this, but then by the time you finish like the last DLC, he's just he's grown so much. He
Yeah.
he has he grows a lot, and throughout the main game, like the base game as well, you see this growth. But then it's further explored in these like the Hidden Blade one. I love the Hidden Blade one. I thought that was such a great DLC because
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people are like, oh, but he's not an assassin. He hasn't got. It's like no, but that's the point. You're building towards this. Like
Yeah. He
you're
gets the
building,
blade there.
yeah, and you've got the hidden ones, which is like the Assassin's Order, and it's yeah, the world building's brilliant, and the way that they tackled it as well. And like you said, the authenticity and the way that you can run around the streets and they feel lived in and it's enjoyable. But
Yeah.
I do want to ask though, with the voice work, did you do like performance capture for the cutscenes, and then obviously just provide the voice when they did like the animations in the game, or did you add any of the animations to yourself? Or
So yeah, there's some cinematics we did where we're doing all the performance capture, which it's probably like 20% of the game, to be
Mm,
honest. Which I loved, and I wish they would have done more because there's so many scenes where I see like I see the character that has movements that I would not do,
yeah,
and they're these kind of library movements
mm,
that are input, and I'm like, I would not do that way. But I can see where those scenes are, and I watch them. I'm like, people would probably think we're doing cinematics, and I'm like, they're not. They're very particular scenes where they're like actual us
yeah.
cinematics. Trying to think of a few off the top, but usually you can see them. They're just much more money put into them.
Yeah,
I'll
like
put
there's
it
a lot
that
more
way.
focus on
Yeah, a
like
lot more
certain
rendering, a lot
movements
more
and
like
things.
yeah, all this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, you can kind of
Um,
tell when it suddenly goes to cinematic.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so yeah, those we all did on the floor, which was awesome. And
yeah,
then the voice work was a lot. It was like months in
yeah,
the voice booth, day in and day out. And I always tell people the amount of dialogue you have to get through for a game like that was I'll probably never do that much. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully, but I probably won't ever do that much in a game again. Um, we would get anywhere from 150 to 300 to 500 and one time 900-page scripts
Wow.
on a Thursday or Friday, and we start on Monday. Like you can't read that in the weekend.
That's mad.
And so you're like, I'm on the metro in Toronto because I moved my whole family out there while we're doing it. And I'm literally just reading my scripts to work
Mm.
on the metro, just enough that I can get the story of everyone, what's happening, all the different dialogue shifts and changes. So I can go,
Yeah.
okay, this way I'll try it that this way I might try that. That's all I have time for. Me on the freaking subway with headphones and like, Phoebe, we're going to do this. Okay, next line. So it's just like, and the crazy guy in the corner.
Just muttering to yourself.
Just mumbling to myself. But yeah, so it was a lot of dialogue to go through, and you get three kind of takes at it, and then if you're
Yeah.
not there, you get one or two more. But you have to get 100 and whatever lines in a couple hours, and you have to go. So you've got to sort of know it enough that you can get the story, and then also just trust like, okay, what's your line? So I'd be reading the other person's line or have the director, or sometimes we got lucky and someone had pre-recorded the other character's lines and I'd listen to them and I'd try to respond off
Yeah.
that. And then we had, two different directors, one in the UK, one in Toronto, and they had very different directing styles. Nothing wrong to them. They're both
Yeah.
wonderful, but they just had different styles. So now the game's not matched in performance. It's like
Yeah.
in theater, we call it like they're in two different plays. Um,
Yeah.
and so in this context, it felt like that when I watched the game later. I was like, I'm talking like I'm in this kind of game, and they're talking like they're in this kind of game. And I was like, oh, what?
Is this still Assassin's Creed?
Well, yeah, like, okay, I'll put it really simply. Like we were doing like an action adventure comedy drama,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
over in Toronto.
Yeah.
And the UK was doing more of a slow burn drama action with a little comedy.
Yeah.
Or British style comedy, I'll put it that way, where it's like dry.
So dry.
So
So
dry.
dry. Yeah.
So
You
I'm
need a
like,
glass of
I'm
water.
big, I'm boisterous. I got notes like, can you go louder, bigger? I was like, sure. I was like, okay, great. Then I was like, but I didn't know they weren't doing that over there. So I was doing like Alexios, he's big, and sometimes he's quite loud, like. But
Yeah.
then when someone else I'm talking to will come in, they'll be like, "But Alexios, this thing and da 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 da." Oh, you think so? I'm like, "Oh man, I would have not done it that way had I known. Had I known." And but it's fine. I love everyone. And so when it came out, I actually because I was reading everything about the
Mm.
game. And I was like, oh my God, people think I'm a shitty actor. And I'm like, and then I can see why.
Such a
Some
deep
points.
emotional scene. He's like, hey,
Yeah, right? Like,
it's
yeah, someone's
me.
having this emotion, and then this guy comes out like, oh my God. And not in all the spots. Some parts were like exactly how I would love to do it.
Yeah.
Like, but there were certain points. That's all. Let's just put it that way. Certain points I was like, oh, we're in a different movie. We're doing a different play
I
right now.
love that. I love that. That's brilliant.
So while the DLCs were coming out, I was changing on my end, my tactics on
Yeah.
approach because I was like, oh well, if that's how they're doing it over there, then I've got to make sure that we're matching in some form while keeping
Of
what we've
course, yeah.
done. So it was like narrowing and refining the character throughout the DLCs, and I'd watch them after, be like, okay, now we're kind of pairing
So
well.
you've got that's how that growth kind of came in then, because
It came in
it was
100%.
like, okay, I need to fine tune this to make it this, and then by the end of it, he is this, this
Which all worked out
instead
really
of
well. Like I
yeah,
was like, oh,
it
that's great.
works
I was
narratively. It's
growing
brilliant.
with the
Yeah,
character.
I love that.
It was quite amusing experience. And the Elpidio stuff, and I was just, you know what? I'm just gonna commit to the actor's vulnerabilities because his whole life has been wanting a family.
Oh yeah,
And and sometimes Greek, especially Greek men, sorry, I love you some Greek men, but they can be quite emotional. And it's not a dig, it's just a straight up like truth. We can be. And so I was like, I'm going to accept his emotionality and not
mm.
play the stereotypical hero,
But
holding it all in.
he's got this humanity to him, which I think is
Yeah,
important.
like
Yeah,
he's going to cry.
Yeah, he's gonna
He's
feel
going
it.
to wail. He's
He's
going to
not,
feel it.
yeah, he's not
It's
gonna be
gonna
like
hurt.
Arnie in in Predator and just be like
Yeah.
Macho Man. He's gonna feel things and he's gonna regret things and he's gonna love some
And
things.
talking about the emotions of the character and just wanting to take Alexios in a humane way instead of just an archetypal, hero who has two dimensions,
Yeah,
and I just wanted to give him a full breadth of his experience because for me it was about what's he going through and what's the character going through at this point of the story and how are we going to convey that and looking back, I would change some things because you don't realize how long some things happen within the game when they're running and then they're still crying or this and that. But overall, I'm really happy with the decision of it because he was such a traumatized young man,
yeah,
and he all he wanted was family and to have that nurturing experience and so that he needed and so when he finally was able to step into the role and be a father and do all that to have it all ripped from him or the potential of like what's happening and be
yeah,
ripped from him was like chaos for
yeah,
him. So I just wanted to express that, and I think after that had come out I found very fascinating because I got the mixed bag of reviews on my character. It's fine. um and I know why on every context, and it's like great, and and some I'll take my own, we learn from and grow. So, but what I really loved was I have to say my DMs on my Instagram and everywhere
mm,
else like that I had, and even online was just it was awesome. After that DLC, it was really cool to see how many people were captivated by that choice,
yeah,
um, and crying and
yeah,
telling like having like they were with the experience and with Alexios and also in their own lives and just that the character went there.
yeah,
There was I'm in the booth. I had like snot and tears going down my face thinking of my wife and I had a 2-year-old baby at the time, and just holding that experience and using that to channel through. So I'm glad it was received very well because it could have been, it could have
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. People going, why is this main character? What's going on? Why is he being
Yeah.
human?
Yeah, it was to me it was justified and it needed
Yeah,
to be. And I was okay with it. So I'm glad you liked it. Yeah.
I think I think it's important when you play games and because I was saying this the other day, games don't feel like games anymore. They feel cinematic. They feel like pieces of art. They're not like you play games to have fun. Don't get me wrong. Like Odyssey's fun to play, and then you
Yeah.
have these moments where you can kind of sit there and just you feel it.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's a very traumatized character. He's gone through so much, and then he kind of finds a family to begin with, obviously with Phoebe.
Yeah.
Um, which I love their relationship. Their dynamic is so
Love
nice
it.
because
Love
it's whenever
Phoebe.
Phoebe
Yeah.
pops up in a random place and he's like, "Whoa, like what are you doing here?" It's like, "Oh, she offered me a job," and it's like, "Yeah, but how did you what?" He tried so hard for so long to get off
Keep her
Kefalonia.
safe.
What's going on? How did you just get here? I love that, but it's this like the human side of it, and I think a lot of the time you play these games and these narrative games, and you kind of when you immerse yourself and you grow with the character as well because you follow him on this immense journey that he goes on, and with those moments they're really important because they make you realize, oh my gosh, like this character that's doing this crazy stuff, and I'm taking down people that are like 7 foot and all this, and I'm meeting gods. At the end of the day, he's a human, and that's something that we can really look at and go, you know what, even these really strong characters that take these hits and things, they have normal reactions, and then like you said, people sit there. I sat there. It's heartbreaking. The obviously the performance from you, the music, the tone, everything blends in, and you feel Alexios's emotions. Like you intertwine with them. I mean, I'm not a father. I want to be one day, but you can kind of think, oh my gosh, like whoa. Even now thinking about it, it's getting me choked up because it's
Okay.
such a
Okay.
powerful thing, because it's such a heart-wrenching moment, because like I said, you follow him throughout this whole game, through his story, through his through his own odyssey in a sense, which I guess is what the game's called.
Yeah. Yeah.
Name drop the game, but you go on this adventure with him, and he does amazing things. But at the end of the day, he is just a human. He's a human that has had a terrible life in a sense, but he's a human, and that's what I think sometimes with games can attract you to them because you feel like you're playing this strong character, but like you said, at the end of the day, he's covering all this trauma up with humor and with his confidence and things like this, and you
Or his
feel it.
anger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is all this because you go across this journey with him, and by the time you reach this point, you feel connected with him and you follow his emotions, and I think it's an amazing choice from yourself to add that into a character, to not make him 2D, to not make him just action hero, vengeance spree. Instead of like he feels it first. And it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's
Yeah.
it's so powerful. It's so
It's one of the greatest
yeah,
compliments from many people, and you included. It's been like you feel him, and it's
yeah,
just especially when he's angry, you feel him angry. When he's happy, you feel him happy. It's not just like I'm playing him happy, like, and I'm really happy that that came across. Like people say like that a lot, and like they can when he's angry, you know it. When he's pissed, you feel like he,
yeah,
and I'm glad because I want you to also feel like his emotions are on his sleeve
yeah,
and you are experiencing where he's at as you're going through it, and I'm glad that that came across. And I didn't want to hide everything, because I wanted
yeah,
him to be up front on everything and just big and forward and not try and reserve all of that stuff into a character.
yeah,
It's like I'm just gonna play him like a Greek guy might in ancient Greece. Like, he's a bulldog at the same time, right?
yeah,
Like you got to think about what he comes from. He's only got a sixth grade education. He's only got like or whatever, even less than that. Sorry, he's 6 years old. He got kicked off the mountain. So he
yeah,
doesn't really have an education. He doesn't have like all these things. And I was trying to think about all those little tiny layers that were. So me people when they first start him, they're like, "Oh, he's just a brute, deep voice, da, 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 like thing," and I was like, "But that's where he starts.
yeah. He is a mercenary to start with. That's his bread and butter at
He's
the end
not
of
a
the day. Yeah,
likable type thing, like
yeah,
he's he's a hard ass brute,
yeah.
and so you have to join him." And if you don't get that, fine, go play Cassandra. I'm like, great, but but I'll come after you as Deimos. Don't worry.
I'll get you. I'll get you for
I'll get you.
that. I love that. If you don't play Cassandra, it's fine. You got a choice. You got the choice. Go and make it if you want. I was gonna say the first time we meet him, as we said earlier, he fights two people. That's our introduction to the character. He has this, and then obviously Phoebe comes, and it's like, oh well, I just knocked these two guys out. And I was quite surprised actually when I first started. Sorry, play Cassandra. When I that's got me. I love that. I love that. That's such like a yeah. If you don't like it, play the other character that's available. I'll play the bad guy. I don't care. I'm just like,
Doesn't matter to me, man. I'm always canon.
I'm always gonna be there. Do you know who's not you?
P.S. I love Cassandra and
Yeah, yeah,
Melisandre. My best
yeah.
friend.
I love both performances. I enjoyed playing the game as both characters. Oh, this killed me. Yeah. So you have this introduction with him as a brute, and then he goes, "It's like, why have you brought a vineyard? Like what?" And it's like, but everybody calls him, and you will have to excuse me. Everyone calls him mercenary, don't they? Is it
Yep.
me? I want to say me.
Mystios.
That's it,
Yeah.
Mistios. And everyone calls him that, and that's his name. Like a lot of people in the start, kind of they don't really call him Alexios, and unless Phoebe does, Phoebe calls him Alexios. I think that's that found family thing that I was on about. It's that
Right.
personal connection, whereas
Yeah.
everyone else just sees him as a mercenary, which is what he is. That's what he
Yeah.
begins as. But like you said, he
I'm not
grows.
Geralt of whatever in Witcher, who's like however 100 years old and
Yeah.
like been through a lot of and now is like contained.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's a human. he's
Yeah.
he's
Sorry.
what he's like is he 20 odd in when we first
Yeah,
meet
he's
him?
technically he's in his 20, he's
Yeah.
barely 20. I think he's at 18, 17. I was like, I'm not playing it that way, but yes. Technically
Wow.
he's
I'd say what if I looked like that at 18, I would have been
right.
happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever
But
he's
yeah,
eating.
yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, they grew up a lot faster than we do.
Yeah. Wow. He's got a beard. What?
But yeah, I mean, technically, yes, he's pretty young, but
Yeah.
I just played him more in his mid late 20s
Yeah.
and was kind of my thing.
Yeah.
I felt it was stronger than trying to play him a young guy. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It gives him that nice balance of he's been through a lot, but he
yeah,
still has a lot more to go through, if that makes sense. So he's
yeah. He
he's
was
in that
like,
midpoint,
yes, yeah, like
given
very
the
manly
time.
on the out front, but still like a child inside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Very like he puts his front on, but then, like you said, as you go through the game, it kind of the mask kind of goes,
yeah, yeah.
which is obviously credit to you and directing team and the writing and all this because it does. You see this mask slowly fade away, and he becomes a bit more
Which
open
I
to
don't think
things.
maybe it's me, but I don't know a lot of games that do that with the main character. So
No,
I'm really glad I did. Like I was
yeah.
trying to a choice.
Yeah, and it works. It works with the character and the story that he goes through, and the Odyssey he goes through. Now,
You're
one
with him for 500 hours, like
th-
you want a same character the whole way through?
it's
Like,
just it's like yeah, what I love is you go through all these different things with him, and like you said, yeah, if you spent 500 hours and he's the same like 2D going in hack and slash, that's it. Boom. It gets repetitive. Whereas if he's got growth and you follow this growth, and when you're kind of running around and doing things, it's similar. But given the cutscenes and cinematics and things, these performances, when you start from here running around is different from when you're here running around because you've grown with the character. You think more, well, actually, would he kill this guy like this, or would he kind of spare it? And then, yeah, now when I'm talking about it out loud, I feel bad for killing his dad. I feel bad for killing the Wolf of Sparta. I feel bad now because
guess you just have to play it again.
I'm gonna have to do another playthrough and go like, no, I don't want the helmet. It's okay. It's cool,
All
but
right.
I'd rather have my dad. But yeah, so now earlier you did mention that making Alexios, you kind of added, you mentioned Greek Batman.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you were Batman. You were Bruce Wayne
I
in
was
Gotham
near the
Knights.
end of Odyssey. I was near the end of the shoot production on that, and I got a call from my agent to do a screen motion capture test
Hmm.
for this Bruce Wayne thing. And they just needed like a test. It was
Yeah.
all it was. It wasn't for and I was like, okay, cool. So she called me. I did the audition. I sent it in the tape. They called back right away. They said, "Hey, can you do it again like this?" So I sent it in. It was Friday, and then Monday came around. I was with my director friend and hanging out, and we get a call, and they're like, "Okay, you booked it." I was like, I'm like, it's a test. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, this is still the coolest shit ever. I get to go test as Batman for this motion capture thing, and they fly me to Montreal on Wednesday. So it was like literally boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, okay. So I get there. We spent all day shooting this scene. Just this one scene. We just did it a bunch of different ways. And I was having a blast. Like,
Yeah.
just, it was only me there and the whole team and in this little spot. And the whole scene was the scene that you get in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're watching this, I'm dead.
Which was such a
And
brilliant trailer. I just want to put that in there. That trailer blew me away because it's like, oh, okay, Batman's dead.
Batman's dead. Yeah, yeah.
Batman's
And I was
dead.
like, whoa. I was like, he's not really dead. I'm like, no way, right? They're like, no, they can't kill Batman. I was like, all right, yeah, I don't think he would be. That's what I first heard, right? And
Whoops.
so yeah, right. So I shoot that, and then I was kind of so happy to just have that opportunity to do the
Yeah.
test. But the writers actually came up from LA to watch me do it. And they're like, I'm like, oh, why did you guys come up? The producers and writers are like, we liked your voice. I was like, oh, okay, because I'm not playing him in my books at this point, right?
Yeah.
This is just a pre-game. They haven't even started making it yet. They're just working on some stuff. They want to do a cinematic test thing. I was like, great. They're like, yeah, we really liked your voice, and we wanted to watch you. I was like, okay, all right, cool. So I put on my Batman voice and did my thing. Um, and and about a year and a half almost later, I got a call,
That's mad.
and it was like February, and I think the trailer had already come out in December, and I hadn't even watched it because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, they're like, we're ready to start shooting, and the trailer had already been out. It's like, what? And then I was like, I went and looked at the trailer. I was like, oh my God.
Wait a second. That's me.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm Batman.
Yeah, right. Like I was like, holy shit. So I was the only Canadian cast, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And I was very, very honored to get that position. Um, you know, that's a big deal to me to
Yeah.
just have that opportunity. So yeah, I was very, very excited and honored. And then we started shooting. COVID happened, and my God, that was a whole mess. So I was just enjoying that I could fly
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
and
Oh,
forth
yeah.
during that
Yeah.
time.
Just enjoying the fact that you could go somewhere.
Yeah, right. I was like, it was quite humorous to me. They're like, "Hey, was like, is that airplane's empty?" I was like, "Dude, I was like squished in like a sardine can." I was like, it was packed. I was like, "There's not a chance." It was very funny, and and yeah, I was in curfews at like 7 p.m. in my hotels. Like it was hilarious. I was like, "What is?"
I bet
Um,
that'd be so like that because you do like a session of recording, wouldn't you? And then it's like, oh, I need to get back because they're not gonna let me.
I need to go get some dinner because I can't leave my hotel room after 7. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Um, but it was such a great time, and the director Wilson was just a pleasure. I really really loved working with him, and he let me really explore Bruce in a you know, in the way that I was hoping I could take him, and he really went with that, which was like a father, and I think we all saw that because the story was like a
Oh,
family, right?
100%. Yeah.
It's like family, and it's I was like, again, I got an opportunity to bring something out of a you know a game character or just a character in general. 'Cause he's not just game character,
Oh, yeah.
but Batman is a very reserved person. His Bruce Wayne is his character. Batman is his
Yeah, he is Batman. Bruce Wayne's the
yeah,
costume. It's like, yeah,
and so for me, it was like I want to marry the two. Now I don't want to have both of them be separate. Like they need to be married to me, and they
yeah,
need to be. I want to bring them together, and I want to make his role now because he's passing the mantle. In other words, I want him to be the father
yeah,
because in other stories and other games I watch and stuff like that, he's the dad, but he's still a hard ass. He's still reserved. He never gives up the emotion. He never shows it. I was like, I'm not going that route. I'm gonna let him be a human again.
yeah,
That's really what I wanted for Bruce, and for you know Batman. I
yeah,
want him to be human, and because he's not really, he's only wearing the Batman suit in the beginning. It's Bruce Wayne now.
yeah. It's like a rebirth. That's
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Now it's Bruce, and Bruce is gonna be, and so that was really a pleasure. The shooting those scenes were amazing. The death scenes, and with all the you know
Mm,
the motion capture scenes like you did with Jason, I think you were mentioning.
yeah,
Um, you know all the different characters and having a different journey with each one of them and
yeah,
like what what is Bruce's relationship with Batgirl, what's Bruce with Robin, what's you know and all stuff and like how does each one have their own individual experience when you're playing that game, and that was really fun to do. That was really special. uh the hardest part for me was the voiceover element because you get to listen to all those logs.
yeah, yeah. When you go to like the caches and stuff,
Yeah,
when you go around the map, yeah.
I don't know who ideas this was, but I didn't get those sides till on the day,
Oh,
and I didn't know I was gonna have to do 20-year-old Bruce to 50-year-old Bruce
yeah, like a jump
on the
in,
day.
yeah. That's brilliant. So you just got to age him down very suddenly when he's
Yeah,
just
so I'm like,
starting
oh my
out.
God, what's young Bruce right now? I've been like sitting with like deep Bruce for like, I think I'm like, all right, there's Bruce Wayne. All right, like I have to, and then so now like, who's that guy when he's young? And then like make him younger and like how to find that voice on the spot. And okay, now let's put him in there where he's young and a bit more energetic and bright to like when he's older and slower and has more like thoughts
Yeah.
and rich maturity to him. So like, okay, well, so and then there's like the in between. I was like, oh my god.
So many different Bruces.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's not like I had time to do my homework. I was literally like, "Where? What?"
I'm just
I,
wait.
hold on, he's
How old am
20.
I this time? In this line, how old am I?
And then I'm like, I have to talk about Robin and like my emotional baggage and like all this shit. And I was like, "Fuck, I'm going for it. I'm just going for it." I was like, "All right, let's do it. I'm going all the way. I'm making Bruce cry. I'm gonna make him like actually let it out. He's doing a
Yeah.
journal log. He's not in front of anyone." Sorry for my
He's
language.
no, no, it's okay, it's okay. He's gonna feel it. He's gonna
I
feel
want him
his
to feel
emotions.
it.
But that's good
Yeah.
because it again, just like Alexios, you've given a character that I mean, I think everyone kind of loves Batman. Batman's one of those characters, isn't he?
Batman's the guy, man.
He's a
He's a
oh
human. He's not a
yeah.
superhero. He's a human.
He's one person who and he always has a plan, and I love that about Batman. But it doesn't get me when people go, no, no, Batman can beat anybody with prep time. It's like, no, stop, stop it, stop it. Stop it with this prep time. Anyone can
Oh, that's
defeat
so
anyone
good.
with prep time.
Wow, that's good.
But
Well,
no,
I did my homework for Batman. You'll laugh at this. Apart from my like watching everybody I could find who's played
mm,
Batman and listening to everybody I could find who's played Batman and being like, well, who's mine now? Like, I get it. Kevin Conroy's the shit. Like,
oh
I
yeah,
love him,
oh
but
yeah,
I need to make it mine.
yeah.
And then Roger again. I was like, Roger, you again. I was like, let's do it. I was like, now I know Roger, so it feels awesome that I've met them all.
Mm,
But I was like, okay, so let's make it mine. And I'm using all of their reference points to keep it consistent to
of
this
course, yeah.
world and just make it mine. It was an honor. And then I was like, well, who is Batman? I was like, Batman's a detective.
I
Like, let's
love
be
that.
real
Yeah,
serious. Who's Batman? He's a detective.
he's the world's
Above
greatest
everything
detective.
else, he's a
Yeah,
detective. So, dude, man, we're in COVID times. Like, I'm locked down. All I did was research who runs the world. Like, no joke. Who's the court of owls of our world? So I
yeah.
spent, I mean,
I bet that was a fun internet search. Like
I
figuring
can't
out
even,
who's
I'm not even, I will not even talk about it publicly.
yeah, yeah. It's when you
Like,
start looking into things, like, oh no, oh, they're gonna come get me.
yeah, I'm like, there's a chance. I have a career to have.
I need to
But
get a Batman suit. I need to get a Bat cave.
yeah, right. But wow, that was an
Yeah,
amazing journey. An amazing journey. Reading books, studying people, like going back through this. Like I was on every channel thing I could find of like what's going on, who's doing what, why is this happening? And like not just COVID, like it just took me in every
yeah.
context. I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, wow. I was like, what's this Q stuff? I was like, let's go down that road. I was like, okay, that's a whole journey. What's this thing? Let's go down in the historical like archives of like this stuff. I was like, whoa, who runs the banking systems? I was like, damn. I was like, so it was really cool. So I was like,
Yeah,
me coming to the stage when I was doing that final scene in the Batwing
yeah.
when I'm yelling at everyone.
What a scene! What a scene! I'm just gonna. Wow, you made me cry at Batman. That Batwing scene got me. Sorry, carry on. That's just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
that hit
thanks,
me.
man.
That hit me
Thanks,
like a
man.
ton of bricks.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It was, yeah, I wanted to, and I wanted it to mean something. So I just took all that knowledge and wisdom that I've captured in those year and a half of studying
Mm,
hardcore, just like of what I think if it was relevant to the world, our real world. I was like, I'm gonna make it like relevant to
yeah,
myself. So what is that thing that I can point at in my mind when I'm talking to these guys in this scene? So it's not just an abstract concept, and use that as my motivation. And it was great. That was it was all worth it for that.
yeah,
And the fun rabbit holes I got to just go down was like, it was quite an experience. I was like, wow.
yeah.
I was like, that's what this guy would be like.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
He wouldn't
yeah,
leave any stone unturned. He would find out everything he could. He'd need to back his sources and find out what those things are. He can't just take things for, face value. You'd have to like do all that stuff. I didn't have an Alfred, which sucked, but that would have been nice. But the process is what I liked about it.
yeah.
The process of a detective mindset was like what I got out of it. I was like, that was cool. That was a
Yeah,
really cool.
like get into the head of Batman, what he'd
Yeah.
do in this situation. He's gonna look into everything that he possibly can. And what I love is with the characters in the game. they slowly then become their own version of Batman. They become their own version of Bruce Wayne in themselves. So like they all have different responses to things. But yeah, those that scene in the Batwing and the emotional scene that they have when like you said when they speak to when he speaks to each individual Bat family member is just it's so well done that it makes you go, oh man. Because I mean I love Red Hood, I love Jason Todd as a character. Um and I think it was just his kind of like I said, it's like a rebirth because when he goes into the Lazarus pit, spoilers, but it's like it's nearly 3 years old. No, it is 3 years old. It's it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
and such a great game. I loved playing that game. But having those moments and like we said with the rebirth, he starts off as Batman, but even then, when he has the mask off and he's doing that message and they're all playing about in the background, even then he's got that father emotional he's trying to do a serious message. And then I think Robin or Nightwing takes the mick out and he goes, if you're reading this, I'm dead. And he's like right behind him. And it's
Oh
just these,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
but it feels like a family. So these moments that you have when, they get Bruce back and it's like, oh my gosh, Bruce is back. He's going to kick ass. He's going to sort it all out. Yeah, we're going to get Batman. I was like, oh, I'm going to be able to play as Batman when I finish the campaign. No, no, I'm
That's what
not.
I thought too.
I'm not gonna be able to play as Batman. No, that's not happening. It's not happening. And I remember there was a rumor that went around that when they kept doing the DLCs afterwards, there's going to be a final DLC where you could play as Batman, and it was like, oh, that's gonna be so cool. And then obviously it never came, but that would have been cool. But yeah,
That
you
would
had
have been
this
cool.
rebirth
That
moment,
would have been very cool.
and they all had, and I love the time that it like he takes with each like you go to the member and it's like whoever you're
Yeah.
playing as you have this moment and I love the fact each moment's different. I think that really makes it special
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
whole
You
game
got to,
is
that was
about
all the cinematics with each
yeah.
actor's thing. I was like, I'm really glad we
And
did too.
yeah, I can only imagine how fun that was as well after getting into like Batman's mindset, kind
Oh
of
yeah.
being on because I'm presuming that was like the performance
Yep.
capture moment where you're there speaking to these
Yep.
actors and actresses going like having these personal moments because each interaction is special to that character
Yeah.
and you've been with this character for the game, so even if you don't know the character, you know roughly what their history is by looking at the journals, looking at the bios and things. And it's just the emotion that's passed through in and we don't see Bruce for a lot. Like you said, like we have the caches that he does, where he's like place things like secret things if just in case he's out in the field. And obviously we get the beginning, but then you get this end moment where finally they get Bruce back, and that's all they've wanted all the game. They want Bruce back. They're like, what do we do without Bruce? And then finally they have him back for like what, probably like 10-15 minutes in real time. And then like I know I keep saying it, but the scene in the Batwing, like that scene where he's saying, and I'm pretty sure he ends it by going like, I love you all or something. I can't remember it straight off the top of my head. And then he just crashes it in and destroys the Lazarus pit, including himself. And it's just such a moment because they all just go, no, we all did. I sat there playing, going, no, why did you just kill Batman again?
Right? Yeah, I
There's
know. I was like, you
twice
sons of.
in one game.
Agreed.
I had
Yeah,
to
it
deal
was.
with this in Arkham Knight. Don't do it again.
And yeah, I was shocked they killed him. Honestly,
Yeah,
I was shocked they killed him because they're like they can never kill Batman. That was part of the company's like brand. They Batman never dies sort of
yeah,
thing. So it was a big choice for them to actually just like kill him twice.
yeah. They killed him once. They went, now you're gone again.
No, we're gonna actually kill him. I
But
was like,
the second time was so like because the first time was the premise of the game, but then the second time was so impactful because again, Batman doesn't die. That's a thing. That's the thing that comic readers and like watching the animated shows and the films that doesn't happen. Batman never dies, and
yeah,
then we're given this emotional sacrifice, and then that kind of summarizes Batman and the reason why he's doing things, why he's always done what he does. It's yeah, honestly, the performance the direction and things like this, it all just builds to this such a moment where you don't think you never think you're gonna cry at a superhero game.
oh, well, if people cry, I'm always like that. There couldn't be a better
Well, you
compliment.
you made you made me and my best mate cry because we played that game together. And it yeah,
Ah,
and we both
yeah.
had these and he played as Nightwing, I played as Red Hood, and we both had these emotional moments with Batman. And we're both sitting there just usually when we're playing games like back and forth, we just sat there in just complete silence. All you heard was like, oh. Batman. No, Bruce. He's not my dad. But like,
Right.
Bruce, please. There was moments where I was like waiting for him to just kind of like, no, it's all right. Just Lazarus Pit. I'm just, a bit of Lazarus Pit got in me. I'm back, but I don't know. I can't use my legs. So here's like Old Man Bruce, something
Yeah.
like that. Something, but no, no, no. He died. He died again.
I mean, I always make a joke because like they could bring back. I did fly into the Lazarus pit, so
Right?
it's like,
They could have had like an end credit scene where like his hand
yeah,
comes out or
yeah,
something,
right.
or
Just something, just
just
like
something,
he's
just
still
like no,
okay.
Batman's fine. But I'm
He's all
sure,
right.
yeah, someone's written out on the internet like, no, Batman is alive. He survived. This is how he ejected from the Batwing suddenly.
Yeah, right.
But it's because you knew it was happening because you saw all the Call of Owls members climb onto the Batwing and they're starting just ripping it apart, and you're like,
Yeah,
well, there's only really one way out of this, and it's
yeah,
Batman. So he's already calculated 70,000 other ways that he could possibly do it. This
yeah.
is the one way that he can make sure that nothing goes wrong again. And
And he
it's
takes out the Court of Owls at the same time. So it's
yeah,
like that was the
he
key.
just become and it's such a brilliant Batman moment. It's
Yeah,
such a great
man.
Batman moment. And people that gave up on the game, I will always say this: people that gave up on the game missed out on one of the most emotional moments for probably Batman
Mm.
that I've seen for a good while. Like Batman is Batman, and he has sometimes has really touching moments. That is one of them. That is one of them on a list. Like top five Batman moments would be sacrifice himself to make sure his children are safe
Yeah,
from the Court of
that's it.
Owls,
That's
from
really what it was
Talia.
about. Like I got to take care of my family, and I got to take
Yeah,
it, and then I got to deal with these parasites. Let's
these
call
crazy people that are
them.
ripping up my Batwing. Did I not know how much money he spent on?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Did you before we kind of did you play Gotham Knights?
I wish I did. I watched all the scenes to like
Mm.
see how it came out, just because I'm a father of three now, and my time is just so minimal. To be able to sit down and play games sounds like an amazing thing. Like an amazing thing. So sadly, I've not had the chance to sit down and play barely even of Alexios. Again, I just watched the
Mm.
cinematics because I'm watching as the actor, right? Like I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And again, from the game, I'm like, I want to see how the performance turned out. I'm looking at the technology and how it's working and its improvements and this. So my mind is coming at it from a very different perspective
Oh yeah.
than just like wanting to play. As much as I love to get immersed in the play, I'm looking at all the technical aspects that I can improve on or learn from or grow from. Because as the technology grows, I need to adjust the performance capture as well. So I'm always like trying to see how things are coming out on the back end and
Yeah.
seeing how it's finalized. And I enjoy that part
Yeah,
actually. So
which is brilliant. That always adding more tools to your toolbox, as they say. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
before we finish, I do want to ask, which is something I always ask, is how did you get into voice acting? And then, do you have any tips for anybody that want to get into voice acting?
I wanted to do voice acting when I was in theater school. I just thought it'd be cool to do, like being in a cartoon or something. I was like, that'd be
Yeah.
fun. That's all it was really to me. And then I was really fortunate when I moved to Vancouver and I left theater school and I decided to pursue it here. One of my first auditions was for Lord of the Rings, the Third Age video game,
Mm.
and with EA, and I got it, and it was for like doing the motion capture and voice of Hadhod the dwarf in it. I don't know if I ended up being the voice or not. I was probably too young in the end, but I made this great voice for him. Uh, but Hadhod the dwarf, like every time he and my axe, so I had this voice, and it was really fun, and that was my introduction to motion capture and video game world. And then literally the week later, I think, after booking that, I booked a cartoon series called Trolls,
Mm.
and he was like this really high voice guy, and he was like a poet, but he knew it, and and so I knew nothing about voice work. I
Mm.
just understood characters,
Yeah.
right? Because theater really ingrains that
Oh yeah.
in you, and so here I am playing this deep voiced gravelly dwarf on Lord of the Rings, and then playing this high voiced funny character on this animated series Trolls. And I remember walking my first day and I knew zero about how to use one of these, like
Yeah.
didn't know anything. So I walked in all confident like a 20-year-old should and pretend like he knew everything. And and palms sweating and
Yeah,
like
like everything's just like,
acting cool.
ah,
It's
what's
all
going
good,
on?
whatever. Yeah, like yeah,
Just
you
don't
gotta
shake
do
my
your thing.
hands.
Yeah, I'm just meanwhile, I'm like watching everyone.
Just taking quick notes like, okay, wait.
Like, yeah, right, okay, they did that, they did that. Okay, someone got them. Okay, it's very great. Okay, cool. You know, yeah, yeah, I'm good, whatever. It's
I know what I'm doing. I know
yeah,
what I'm doing. I'm gonna do what that guy just did.
yeah. Oh man, and everyone's like doing these countdown moments. I'm like, what the because it's like three, two, and then you all do something together. And I was like learning as I was like, "Oh, okay, okay. So it was dirty learning. That's the
Yeah,
Fast and the Furious. Those and so awesome to learn that way in both fields. And I had some really great people that I met there and kind of leaned on them and asked them their thoughts or suggestions um and it kind of just got me into the world. I don't know how to put it any other way. And slowly, especially in video games, in motion capture and stuff, I started really comprehending that field and medium very
yeah.
well. And so I got on a Max Steel series. I was like the robot for Max Steel and like all the villain characters doing motion capture. And that was a fun playground. And like his sergeant character boss.
I
And
love
I
Max
just
Steel.
yeah,
Sorry,
right. Like,
I love
so
that
my friend
show.
was Max. He did the body of Max and everything performance, and I did the performance for like a bunch of the other characters and his robot
Yeah,
sidekick.
that's
And
so cool.
yeah, and it was that was like a really awesome because we did that for a couple of years. So it's just
Yeah.
like you're in it, you're always kind of growing at it. And then we got into different games like Mass Effect and that's when people started seeing me for
Mm.
like what I do, and I was very grateful because I got to play at least six characters on that game. Full performance capture. Was gonna almost got the voice for Ryder Senior, but I
Mm.
just had voices for each of them, so I created the templates for the voice actors in LA who would come and do them after. But I did the full performances for all of those characters and their physicalities, and it was awesome. It was like dream come true job. And you go to work and you get to be you're acting with everyone. And it's like, hey, Michael's switching into different people while everyone else is playing one main
Yeah,
character, right? And then there's me jumping around everybody and being all these different types of characters, from like
yeah.
tall alien guys with bubbly heads and to like Drac the deep, my guy who talks out of the sides of his eyes, and like so it was just like this great playground. And that's kind of where people started to see what my skill sets were. We're gonna
Yeah.
lose a minute here, I think. um and that kind of, yeah, one thing led to another, and then Assassin's Creed happened, and then people on that production had worked with me on Mass Effect after, so it was kind of cool. They're like, yeah, so just the opportunity to run around and play all the different characters with your fellow, thespians was just a special treat. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, oh, that's what it was. Everyone I worked with later, that knew me could sort of vouch for me on future projects, which is kind of neat because the industry people jump around to different things,
Yeah.
and that's how I kind of got known for what I do. And it's been an awesome niche of a career. I
Yeah.
still do film TV. I still do lots of voice in video games like Ninjago and other stuff, and doing a bunch of games this year. But I do have a special love for performance capture.
Mm.
I think it's one of my favorite mediums to perform in. And um, yeah, I hope to just keep doing it. I've been on a game for the last almost 2 years now. I just still can't say what it is, but
Well, that's exciting. I like that.
yeah, so that'll be pretty fun when I can finally announce that. But yeah, it'll be good. It's a good big game.
Well, when you do announce it, I might have you back so we can
All
speak
right.
about that game because
Yeah, yeah,
if
that's
it's a
fine.
big good game, I'm a big gamer. And
Absolutely.
yeah, do you have any like tips or advice that you could share, like any wisdom or anything like that from what you've experienced?
It depends on the context, I guess.
Hmm.
I have lots. What do you want to know?
So say that somebody wanted to start, and they were at ground zero. What's kind of like the first kind of thing you'd say, right? Do make sure you've got kind of this in your toolbox before you do anything else. That's
Make
probably
sure
the
why you
best
want it.
thing. Yeah.
I think if it was anything, I would say like, why do you want to do it?
Mm,
Is going to be my first question because everyone thinks this industry is like a celebrity dream kind of thing. You think the portrayal of this industry of acting in general is, I get to be a star.
yeah.
I get to be a celebrity. I get to do all these things. But the truth of it is, it's a ton of work. And to get to the level even I'm at, which I'm so grateful for, is it's not easy,
Yeah.
and you have to really, really desire the craft. Because if you're in it for just the notoriety and the celebrity and the fame, don't. You might even get it and you might hate it.
Yeah.
You might even get it and then you might not be able to maintain it because you don't have the passion underneath it. You don't have the craft underneath it. So like what's your intention? What's your purpose? Why do you want to do this? Is it just because you make good voices and you think it'd be a fun career because you don't want to get a job somewhere? Like you can't get away from the fact that this is a job.
Yeah.
As much as it's fun, it's a great job and I'm so grateful to do it, but the endless nights you're gonna have to be up memorizing lines, working on stuff, the homework, the rejection, the pain, the crying that you're gonna have to go through to feel like to get to the next thing, and nobody might not like you, then to actually be successful maybe, and then everyone's opinions about you. So like, why are you doing this
I
is a
like
big
that.
deal.
I like that
um
answer.
and if you can answer that and you feel like I'm still doing it and I want to do it because I love it, and this is there's nothing else I feel like I'm better suited for. I'm willing to sacrifice everything to obviously not other people.
We're
But
not.
I'm what I mean is give my all to it.
Yeah.
Basically with and that conviction of the passion. Um, then by all means, commit and get ready for a long journey. So the first thing is go take an acting class. Even if you're a voice actor, go take an acting class because voice acting is acting,
Yeah.
and there's no difference. Go do a theater play, an audition. Once you start taking classes, memorize some monologues, get some things down, start copying people on. If you want to do voice acting, copy everybody you hear, listen, practice, mimic, get really good at hearing that, get voice lessons, vocal lessons, start doing some dance classes. Look, like the level of stuff you might want to start considering if you want to do this as a career. There's a lot of layers. So what do you want to do exactly? Do you want to be an actor? Do you want to be a voice actor? Do you want to be a performance cashier? Do you want to do all of them? Because you want all of them, you better have a massive skill set. Um, so get ready for a long journey and enjoy the ride because you're just like you said, building tools. You got to fill that toolbox as you
Oh
go, and
yeah.
each tool is valuable to you to help get to that destination. But it's like any career. You want to be a lawyer, 8 to 10 years, right?
Yeah.
You got to do schooling, then you got to do all get a job at a firm, and then the firm has to, take you on fully and blah, 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 blah. And you might eventually get your own firm down the road, but that's 10, 15 years of
Yeah.
work. And in this industry, it's 10, 15 years of work and you still might not have gotten anywhere.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to put all your eggs into that and commit to that, go for it. But acting first, build the craft. It's always that.
Yeah. It's
Craft is
skill set,
first.
isn't it? Yeah. It's
Because
having that knowledge.
your looks will get you there. Cool. But will they keep you there?
That's the thing.
It's
Skills will stay. Looks don't stay. Yeah.
people hire the consistent one.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
bring the consistent one back. Your looks fade, your egos fade or get worn out by others. And so what lasts is skill. And so keep it sharp, get good, be the best at your ability, be your best all the time. That's why Michael Jordan was awesome. He didn't have competition with others. So just compete against your best. What's your best? And if you know it's lacking, then
Yeah.
Do better.
Fix it. Just
Do better.
do something about it.
Yeah, do something about it. It's only you. The only person you're
Yeah.
fighting in this world is yourself. So,
Yeah.
you might as well embrace that part of you and always strive to be the best version of you. So, yeah, I want to give empowering and but I also want to be very, very like sincere.
Yeah.
Um,
You've got to
know your
commit to it.
why
Don't
and then
half-ass it.
commit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that though. Like, first step is why do you want to do it? Do you want to do it just because you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be the new, I don't know, I'm going to be the new Spider-Man? No. But aim for that.
Yeah.
Don't pop that balloon, but that's an expectation. Don't be worried about not hitting your expectations.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd get to play Batman. Like I
Yeah,
didn't know I get to be
but Batman.
Alexios and all these things. Like, I didn't know all these things are not what I intended on. I'm like, it's a cool journey that I got there, but it's I worked on my voice.
Yeah.
Like, and that's because I had a high voice and I had to learn how to practice. So it was years of work on myself to finally be like, hey, we like your voice. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's
but that's
10
so
years
cool.
of homework to someone saying, we like your voice. And that's singing and this and that and musical theater and like tons of other stuff to help bring in that one skill set that someone
Yeah.
came to look and listen and be like, oh, we like that.
I think that's so cool. Like you became Batman. Like that's such a cool like origin story for Batman. Like they came in, they just went, "I like your voice," and then you found out like the trailer was out, and
Yeah,
then it
that
was
was,
you. Like I think that's so cool. Such a cool story. Michael, it's been lovely having you here. Thank you so much for having a conversation. And it's been brilliant to learn about your insights and but the behind the scenes of these characters that are emotional, but also really strong and having these differences, these human characters. I think the best way to put it is,
yeah, taking a standard two-dimensional, stereotypical character and I'll give them some humanity again and vulnerability, which I think is valuable.
oh yeah,
Yeah, for men too.
yeah, 100%. I think
Not saying,
it's healthy.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
healthy,
yeah. So
But
I appreciate that.
no, it's been brilliant having you here. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that we could finally sort it out.
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah, it's been a while and we made it happen. So it's great.
Yeah, honestly, thank you so much. It's been great just having a laugh and having a conversation about things that we're both passionate about. But I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day.
You too.
And I'll speak to you soon.
Okay,
Bye
perfect. Have
bye.
a good one.
Bye bye.